This is a Punisher.
Drink. Yo, Ronaldo is so good at soccer. Yeah.
I told you Punisher wasn't enough.
Okay. So this is a video that was requested. Xbalanque, I'm rank 7 with him, as you can see. I like Xbalanque a lot, just because when I first started playing, I didn't really know the game so well, so I played a lot of Assault, and Assault is where I gained like a lot of my ability to play the game, like coordination stuff. And Xbalanque is one of the best Assault and Arena hunters. I would argue that he's the best. And that's because he just does so much damage with his abilities. His poison darts late game hit like well, mid game they hit for like half your health, which is crazy. So this was requested. I'm a pretty decent Xbalanque, I like to say. He's not my best god, but he is my favorite god. And so the interesting thing about Xbalanque is that there's no, right, in quotes, right way to build him. And the reason for that is he's not like Apollo, where you're going to max his 1 first. Apollo is so beautiful because that's his lane clear. For Xbalanque, it kind of depends on who you're up against. When I'm against someone like Apollo or on her, I like to max my 3 first because you're mostly going to be clearing with your 3. That's your dash. Your Rising Jaguar, as it's called. But when you're playing against someone like Freya in lane, someone whose lane clear isn't as good, or someone like Cupid, I usually like to go for my Poison Darts, which is my 2. Because although it doesn't clear the wave quite as well, it'll poke them out more. And you can afford to do that because... Sorry, I pick up my Poison Darts first, then I'll go into Rising Jaguar. But you can afford to do that because they're not going to out-clear you and then push you. So for this, I always start with Poison Darts. But after this, I'm going to go into Rising Jaguar. I usually don't like to pick up a point into my 1 and 2... That's rough, he just gave my blue buff away. Oh no, he got it. You're the man. I missed some auto attacks there.
No problem.
This Sobek's the absolute man for that. I don't know how he managed to pull that off. Unfortunately, Athena got hit. So, I mean, early game when you don't have your lifesteal... Ooh, that's rough. Early game when you don't have lifesteal, you're going to take a lot of minion poke when you use your 2. And that's Xbalanque's main weak. So you probably hear people cheering in the background. So yep, like I said, I'm a college student and people aren't quiet most of the time. Whenever you have a Sobek that dashes forward, you always want to do damage no matter what. So like right now, Sobek's low and Apollo's half health, but Athena's just as low as Sobek and I have much more health than Apollo. So this is pretty good for us. Got an auto on him. I won't be too aggressive. That's the thing with Xbalanque, your lane clear is so bad because you're going to be using your 2 to clear a lot of the time, your 2 into your 3. And to use your 2, you have to come to the side of the wave like this, and no other god has to do that. Apollo can just stand in front of the wave. On her can just stand in front of the wave. Unfortunately, he got the last hit, but... I'm just gonna force her out there. That was good from Sobek. I probably could have confirmed that kill on Apollo if he hadn't. He probably should let me have that since he's the support, but whatever. And because I'm getting some good abilities off, I'm gonna elect to get a point into my 2 instead of my 3. This is pretty much preference. I don't like getting his branching bolas until later, because he uses so much mana. And I'm gonna fall back here because I just saw Ymir on the map. And so that's basically the hard part with Xbalanque is lasting until late game, because although you are CC immune in your 3, it's not until you start shooting when you're actually off the ground. And that's the hardest part about him, is because you can get cancelled out of so much of your damage as Xbalanque. If you get like stunned right as you start your 2, or right as you start your 3, like the majority of your damage is just wasted. One of the things you do want to do with Xbalanque, or should I say when you have a Xbalanque on your team, is let him get kills because his passive is directly dependent on it. So his passive is going to make him have more physical power based on how many kills he has. This Apollo's afraid. I used my ult there just because it looked like they were getting a fight, and if they got a kill, I would have gotten the assist for it. But yeah, let Xbalanque get the kills, because for every kill, he gets 5 physical power. Like, that's why my Sobek should have let me. I mean, on top of the fact that I'm the hunter and he's the support, I would have gotten 5 physical power for that. And it stacks up to 6 times, so I can get... Okay, this isn't gonna do anything for them.
Enemies have returned to base.
So I could have, like, a lot more physical power if I get that kill, because then I can be more aggressive and get more. Vamana just DC, that's unfortunate. Xbalanque does use a lot of mana. So you're going to see a lot of the time players are going to go for Devo Gloves, Boots, and then Transcendence, or Transcendence Devo Glove, or Boots Devo Gloves. I like to go the standard Hunter build, just because I feel like it just comes online quicker, because when you get Transcendence, then you're delaying your Executioner, and then you're delaying your Rage, and just crit chance in this game is too powerful to just give up. But for the sake of this video, I think I might actually, I don't know, depending on how tanky their team is. They do have Vamana, they do have an Athena and Ymir, so I am going to go for Executioner first, actually. I was going to say she should have her hog up. They won't be able to kill me here, so I'm not too worried. Although, I could get some help. Sobek's doing my blue buff. As a support, you should always wait for your hunter to get blue buff, because when you're doing the blue buff, he's not getting the experience for it. So I could have been, you know, that much ahead of Apollo, but instead he did it without me. That's just a play I don't really like from this Sobek, but nothing I can do about that. That's unfortunate. Sobek's the kind of god that you want to play really aggressive, and that's because when you get a pool early on, they're just so out of position and they don't have the lifesteal to sustain back up. So like a pool, 2 good pools early game should be like a kill, because it's just so powerful. I'm gonna get my 1 at this point. And that's the reason Transcendence is good on Xbalanque. It's because you can have his branching bolas activated and you like just never have to take it off. And it gives him 50 physical power. Xbalanque's kit isn't about CC, it's not about anything but damage. He has a dash and an escape, I guess. But his 2 hits for a heck of a lot. She might have her taunt up, but... Oh, nice shot, guys. But his passive gives him 30 physical power, his 1 gives him 50 physical power. I mean, his kit's all about landing auto attacks, getting that physical power, and just destroying. The main complaints with Xbalanque is all about his laning phase, so if you do get by his laning phase, you shouldn't really have that much of a problem with Xbalanque.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I should have ulted there, I would have gotten the assist. I'm gonna ult.
You have slain an enemy.
That's Apollo ult.
Enemy ultimate incoming. Enemy ultimate incoming.
So, as you'll see, I have 1 little blue light down there. That's the first stack of my passive, because I just got that a kill.
Has been slain.
It's unfortunate. She couldn't get out of the way, I guess.
An ally has been slain.
That's too bad.
And so that's going to be the first step to me getting a stupid amount of physical power. I'm going to get some wards because it looks like the Sobek isn't going to. Which is kind of something that happens sometimes in casual games, but it's fine. No matter who you are in the game, you should be buying wards. Not as many as your support, but you should still do it. Let's see. So our team's ahead. Right? Yeah, we're definitely ahead.
On my way, yes.
It's gonna get to the point where at around level 9 or 10, which is where Apollo's getting to be, his 1 will clear the wave. So I just have to be wary of that. I'm not too worried about it because I think I can pretty much out-trade him anyway. But if this were a game that, you know, was a lot closer, then I would have to worry about Apollo clearing the wave and then attacking me while I'm still clearing the wave. Like I said, I don't have to worry about that. Yep, you guys didn't see that.
Retreat!
Sebek's gonna die here. Hopefully that ult can save him.
Sorry. On my way.
See, he just knocked me up right as I started my 2. That's the thing that, or I guess he knocked me up right as I started my 3. That's the thing that, wow. The thing that sucks about Xbalanque, that is the one thing that sucks about him. You can just knock him out of so much of his damage. He becomes like useless. Alright, I'm willing to take that because, as you'll see, we got that increase in gold right there. That's the Gold Fury. I also got 2 kills, which means my passive is just gonna get, you know, more and more fed. So, yay, Xbalanque. Xbalanque is a pretty passive hunter. You know, the thing with Apollo and with Anher, all those gods, they have escapes. I mean, to be fair, Anher's and Neith's kind of the best because they are actual jumps and not leaps or dashes. Or, sorry, yeah, dashes. Apollo has a dash, but most of the time he's going to mez you and then dash, so it's not like you can cancel him out of it. In the game with Drybear, that is like the reason half of you are watching me. He actually beat me pretty dang hardcore. What? Nice minion pool. He beat me pretty impressively, and that's because, well, half the reason is because I always play stupid when I'm playing against, you know, well-known people because I can't land auto attacks because I just had a ping spike. But I always feel like I need to like prove myself, like, oh, I'm gonna, and I always want to do it in a 1v1 too. But then it got to the point once he killed me once, and I didn't realize how fed our Bastet was either. I realized at about the same point he did when she was on a rampage. Hit me. Very surprised too. So you'll see I'm hitting for 150. At this point most gods would be hitting for, I don't know, 130. And the reason is because of my passive. At this part in my build I shouldn't be hitting for as hard as I am for any other reason than I have so much physical power. I think just for fun, I'm gonna go for the Transcendence build just because I am using my abilities a lot. Still up for debate. I'll see what I want to do. I really could go either way. It's just so good to have branching bolas up at all time. He's really mana hungry. He's like up there with I'm using Cab. He just uses so much mana. I don't know why he stuck around. I don't think you realize how quickly I could burst in there. And that's the reason that, you know, Xbalanque is so good in arenas, because he's basically like Uller. He's a burst mage. I'm not going to waste my beads on that. There's no follow-up potential.
Got him. Double kill.
We're feeding the Vamana a little bit, which is unfortunate. Not happy.
Enemy missing middle. Yes, your left tower.
Yeah, my friend's talking to me right now. He said Vamana's his favorite. He's never even played a computer game. He doesn't even really know about Smite, but whatever. Pablo, I thought you liked Apollo. Oh, you like Xbalanque? Or are you saying that because I'm playing a Xbalanque? Alright, Cupid's your favorite? Yeah, Cupid's shit, so.
Enemy missing middle. Be careful.
Cupid's like the worst god in the game.
Your middle tower is under attack.
And so the reason Drybear is doing so well against me is because I was playing stupidly. Also, he played well. Nothing against, you know, how he played. He played how he should play, which is well. And also, he really took advantage of the AMC buff. It's not a huge buff, but his ult comes out like you don't really have time to prepare for it. Most of the time I would try and dash away, but he just called me with it so many times, and when you're crippled as Xbalanque, you can't use your 3. So it kind of gets to the... I should have all... Yeah, you should have. Kind of gets to the point where, like, I put myself in a bad position, and I can't use my escape. And I didn't want to use my beads, because, like, I was just going to die anyway. And so, once I gave him that first kill, I kind of chilled out, and I stopped caring. I ended up going 0-2. But... Xbalanque versus AMCs, for like the first 2 levels, it's good for Xbalanque. After that, it becomes like pretty in favor of AMC, just because he starts to get his lane clear. I just keep getting my 1 canceled. Fortunately, he still had his ult. Now, something about Vamana ult is the more you attack him, the longer he stays in it. Thank God for CC immunity. That was perfect. So yeah, we were taking advantage of the fact that the matchup was good for us early on. That's a good call. I'm gonna get these mid camps. But it got to the point where I was still being aggressive, and his lane clear was just vastly superior to mine. And you know, I just didn't respect it in the way I should. And he took advantage. That's what a good player does. A lot of ranked is taking advantage of where other people messed up. That's kind of what it has to be. Because if you do even one like wrong thing, someone's gonna make you pay for it. I kind of just want to stay in farm. I want to get this Transcendence online as soon as possible. So just be clear, yeah, I'm not like making excuses. Like, he definitely outplayed me when he got that first kill, and then after that, it was like, you know, whatever. But you know, a good player, so all that credit to him. I'm kind of not paying attention to this game as much as I should. The thing about Xbalanque ult is that if you use it and someone dies on the other team, then you get an assist for it. So that's a good way to help your team confirm kills, but then you also get some gold out of it. It's not a lot, it's like 40 for an assist, which is like 1 big minion. But it's still more than nothing, and also you confirm that kill, so your team's getting fed too. And that's the thing, Xbalanque ult is pretty underrated. I mean, it's either a guaranteed stun if they don't stop moving, or it's a guaranteed they'll stop moving because they don't want to get stunned. I'm gonna use this bad boy.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm gonna let Xbalanque use his bombs. I didn't realize Vamana was behind me, so this is bad for me. Actually, we can fight in this heal. If Sobek can pull one of them, they should be dead. Unfortunately, even though they have a tanky team, I went for Transcendence. It'll make me do more damage against Agni and Apollo, but it won't have the same effect on Vamana, Athena, and Ymir. But I don't care, I'm just doing this for fun. Most of the points, most of the things about Xbalanque is just knowing how he works. After that, all hunters are pretty much the same. The uniqueness of him, though, is just that he's so... He is really different. He doesn't have like that one escape like Apollo and that one designated like nuke to do damage to the minion wave, like Anhur's Impale or Apollo's So Beautiful. You kind of have to decide which one you want to use between his 2 and his 3, and then his 1, which is really good too, but then has so much mana. You just kind of have to play him with a defensive mindset. When you're playing Xbalanque, you're kind of signing up for the late game already, because late game, when you have his 1, and you stack it up with his passive, I'm not really scared of these guys. I have a minion wave here. I probably should be though, because he's hurting me. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna lifesteal. If he can pull, he should. Alright.
On my way. I feel asleep.
So basically, the reason I played so aggressive, Pablo, are you on your phone? Yeah. Just stop for a second. Sorry. So for some reason, whenever my attack fire giant. For some reason, my headset acts weird whenever someone's on their phone, like around. We shouldn't be tanking this right now. We should have pushed the oh, we have raw heal, so that's a little bit different. But we should have pushed the minion wave up and then went for this. Okay. So we're gonna do this.
Be careful. Need healing.
Hopefully. Yeah, Athena's in mid. So I guess they just didn't have wards on it. That's good for us. I mean, the fire giant's just huge, especially when you're ahead. When you're behind, it evens up the game. When you're ahead, it kind of seals the fate of the game. They could still try and fight us in their Phoenix, but I mean, at this point, we have twice their kills. I'm 6-1. Let's see here. I'm 6-1. Nua's 5-2. Everyone's positive except for Ra. And that's okay, because all he has to do is heal us. So because he's so mana hungry, getting blue buff on Xbalanque is pretty much always a good idea. It's not like late game where with most gods you want to go speed buff, and he's no different. You would definitely want speed buff over that. But if you go the non-transcendence route, you're gonna have a lot less mana. And in that case, it's pretty smart to go for blue buff. Having your 1 activated at all times just makes Xbalanque hit so hard. It's so good.
Be careful, middle.
He actually got that pull off. I didn't even know he was going to go for it.
Retreat.
He's dead.
You have slain an enemy.
I'm hitting this tower for 178. I'm not even like half build yet because I don't have stacks. I do have a fire giant to be fair, but like this is just okay. This is just the power of Xbalanque. He's not going to be the crit god. He's not going to be like Apollo where you just attack so much that they die. He's going to be the one where you don't attack as much, but you hit so hard that they die.
Your left tower has been destroyed.
Our team's being a little too aggressive for my taste. We have 3 right, they have 3 here. Left lane's kind of getting... Okay. I really like they're not even hurting me, so I'm not worried about it. I didn't think she'd ever dash up. She did, so kind of greedy of me. But we have raw heals. That's the big thing. Raw's just so good. I'm hitting this tower for 179, so okay, I'm just gonna get out.
Retreat has been slain.
Retreat! Retreat!
You've been shut down.
What I'm trying to do there is just lifesteal, because if they catch me out right now, I really don't have much of a chance. Yeah, that was not her fault at all. She did exactly what she should be doing. Someone has to defend. Ra is, to be fair, doing less damage at this point. He should be able to defend under Phoenix, no problem. Nuwa had better split push, and she has her minions, so I would have liked to see Nuwa helped us there instead of Ra. I mean, at the same time, it's not a big deal because the Ra heals cancel out. My team's just joking around, so that's good. He's...
Okay. Attack the gold.
I just said Lopple. I meant to say Law, but I said Lopple.
Yes. Attack the gold fury.
So as you see, I mean, 444 per auto. That's like what some gods crit for at this point, and that's just the power of Xbalanque. That extra 80 damage just from his abilities and passives make him so good.
Cancel that.
She's so caught out. Why aren't we attacking her? Oh well. It's kind of hard to communicate those things in a casual game. So at this point, I would normally try and split push right, but because the Phoenix is...
An enemy has been slain.
Since the Phoenix is down, there's really no point. I am going to see if I can catch out this Agni though. He's pushing up a little too much for my liking.
Defend left lane.
I should be able to kill him here. I have beads if he tries to stun me, and I have my sprint if he tries to get too far away.
An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, he's going to just try and DPS me down, but he won't be able to.
On a rampage.
That's the thing. With most gods, you can play from behind, and you won't lose a whole lot. But when you play from behind with Xbalanque, you're also playing without those stacks and without all that stuff that makes him so good. We're gonna hit that twice? Yeah.
Retreat. Your team has destroyed a middle enemy Phoenix.
As if I wasn't hitting for enough as it is, I'm gonna end up getting crit chance here. Okay, so they surrendered. That game, obviously I did pretty well, but my team was doing well too. Ra healed a lot, Fred did some damage, had some kills, Noah ulted at great times. And basically, like I said, the problem with Xbalanque is his lane clear. If you can get past the point of the game where that matters, if you can get to the team fight stage where you're fighting over objectives, if you can get to that point without falling behind, then you've pretty much won, because you're going to start hitting people harder than like the Falcon Punch. And that's really the goal with Xbalanque. As you can see, I did the most damage. Just Xbalanque, man. So if there's anything to take away from the video, it's that. It's what I just said. And it's also build your passive. If you have a Xbalanque on your team and you can let him get the kill, do it. Because although other gods will get fed and do damage, he'll get fed and do damage even more so because he gets 5 physical power for it. So don't be greedy. If you're all about winning, which is kind of what ranked is, this wasn't ranked, this was casuals, but if you're about winning, let your Xbalanque get fed. You won't regret it, I promise. So hopefully this was everything that the person who asked was looking for with Xbalanque. Like I said, I've played a good amount of him. Those are my stats right there. This was the game with Drybear. 0-2. Xbalanque, I'm gonna go into a jungle thing now just to see if there's anything else I can show off. America. He's not like on her where you jump into your pillar stun or something because Disperse has a knockup. Like I said, most of him is just auto attacks. he does do a lot of ability damage, but because it's not CC, it doesn't really help him out as much as it helps out most gods. So I'm just gonna get level 5, some items. Alright, whatever. Boom, boom. So that's the Transcendence build. If you do go the normal build, that's completely okay. I will normally go that build. For the sake of the video, I just want to show the Transcendence build because it's more fun. But either one works. So once you get that attack speed, I didn't have attack speed. I mean, I got Executioner eventually, but once you start hitting this fast, they can't really you're gonna be hitting for 500 before crit. It's really stupid. His 2 is actually a slow. That's not something that many people know. It actually slows him down. So if you're chasing and someone's getting away, before you auto attack and then get the movement speed penalty, use your 2 on them and then start auto attacking because they'll be slowed too. So you'll get more auto attacks on them. The range of your 4 or the range of your auto attacks increases tremendously when you ult. So he's a really good boxing god at long range because whereas right here I could never even dream of hitting that. But if I ult, I can hit that and some. Like if you see how far those auto attacks are going out. And then also, if you're like about to get CC'd and you know, so something like if Ares has you ulted but doesn't have you crippled, if you time your 3 right, you won't get fooled because you have CC immunity. So that's really big because he gets so far behind, you don't really want to get actives and put yourself behind in your build. So most of the time, you're going to want to try and utilize your 3 CC immunity as much as possible against like a lane like Ares. It's also pretty good against like the Agni. I could time my 3 against Agni pretty well in that game. And then his 1, in team fights, if you don't have his 1 activated, you're doing it wrong. Because not only is it 50 extra physical power, but it's also 30% of that to the people behind him. So when you hit for 1,000, that's going to be 300 to his 2 buddies. That's 1,600 per auto attack. Like that's definitely very, very strong. And also, if you're chasing someone down, like I said, use your 2. But if you do have your ult and you're chasing them down, you actually get a movement speed bonus from your ult as well. And then you can use your 2. And then you can auto attack them down. That's pretty much as far as his combos go. That's like really it. He's basically damage. You don't have a lot of CC apart from your ult. And your ult's really good when combined with like an Kukulkan ult, Raw Snipe, because they'll either stop so they don't get stunned, in which case Ra can snipe them, or they'll keep moving and get stunned when the ult runs out, in which case they'll get stunned, and then Ra can snipe them. So it's a pretty good combo ult. It's really underrated in team fights. It can really change a lot, and that's what makes him so unique and so good. Because he has a really crappy early game, but wow, he's pretty freaking scary late game. So that's pretty much the end of this video. That's everything I think I can cover. If you want to see me go more specifically into Xbalanque, I can try. But he doesn't really differ a whole lot from other, from other hunters. He does need blue buff a lot. That's why earlier in the game they tried to steal the blue buff from Sobek and I, because I would suffer so much from not having it. But other than that, I mean, I covered pretty much everything. If there's a specific question you want to ask, I'm sure I can answer. Just let me know. And with that, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.